Good afternoon to you from wherever you might be watching. My name is John Udesa, and I'm a realtor. In today's live broadcast, I'm going to be talking about ways to make money in real estate in Nigeria. And there's so many of them, and I'll just be listing a few of them. I love the real estate sector because it is one sector that has the ability or the power to turn one's life around. Now, these principles of real estate, if practiced, have the ability to make you wealthy. I'm currently writing my book on how to make money in real estate in Nigeria, and very soon it will be out. I'll be listing over 10 ways through which you can make money in real estate in Nigeria. And today I just want to give you three of them and make you know how we can go through them. Three, four of them as time permits us. So the first way to make money in real estate in Nigeria is what I call property agency. Property agency. You can write it down. You can put it in the comment section. Property agency. So what that simply means is selling houses or selling land. So property agency just has to do with selling lands or houses on behalf of the owner in exchange for a fee. And the fee is usually called commission. And commission is usually 5 or 10% of the amount of the property. So for instance, if you sell a land of 20 million, your commission or your payment is 2 million. If you sell a house of 50 million, your commission, which is 5%, will be about 2.5 million. So that's one thing I really love about this area, because it is one area that you need zero capital to start up. Zero capital to start up. And for those who are coming into real estate, this is one area I advise you start up with. You need zero capital. And it's the way many people start from nothing in real estate and become something. I'd like to share the story here of my real estate mentor, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. About 15 years ago, this is how he started his own real estate company, GTEX Homes. So he will sell lands for people, and the commissions he gets, he will hold them and buy lands. That's how it started. So today, the company is doing well with up to 15 to 20 estates in Nigeria, and also with presence in the UK, US, and Dubai. So this is a good sector for you to start up in, selling lands and houses. It is that easy. Um, but what are some tips? What are some things you should take into consideration before doing this? Um, you need to master sales skills, right? You need to master sales skills, because as a realtor and a property agent, you want to tell people why they should buy from you. Now you need to know there are so many realtors out there. So what will differentiate you from these other realtors is your knowledge of the market, product knowledge, industry knowledge, right? And one way you want to push yourself out as an authority is by giving out educational content, which is like what I'm doing. So you need to have an understanding of the working of the real estate sector. Give educational content on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And this will make your clients to know that you have an understanding of the sector. And there's this thing that I said that is called KLT. Know, like, and trust. People must know you first, like you, and trust you before they entrust their currency into your hands. I remember what my former manager in GTEX Homes, Abuja, said, Abiola Daniela. For me, that's a mantra. He said, consistency leads to credibility, and credibility leads to currency. So when you're consistent in what you do on a regular basis, people see you as somebody who is credible, who can be trusted, and they now entrust their currency into your hand. So as a realtor, you need to show up daily. People need to know that this is what you do, because people cannot patronize you. People cannot buy a product from you which they don't know exists. So you need to go out there and say, hello, my name is so and so, and I'm a realtor. I sell lands and houses in here, Lagos, maybe Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. If you want to buy genuine property, come and meet me. So you need to go out there. Another tip for you if you're going into real estate agency is that you must know the companies you're selling for and be sure that the properties are genuine. You don't want an instance or a situation where you sell land or house to a client of yours, then months later or years later, client is complaining that the house is having issues due to legal issues over the title. It was a fake land. No. So you need to be sure of the company you're selling for. How correct are the title documents they have? Is it a certificate of occupancy? Is it a right of occupancy? Is it by a gazette? Is it by an excision? You want to be sure that they have a right legal title. So this is one way to make money in the real estate sector, and it is so open. I mean, real estate companies are looking for people to sell for them. So I belong to a realtors group. We're about 75,000 in Nigeria, and we have up to 40 to 50 real estate companies that give us properties to sell for them on a regular basis. So almost every day I have new properties to advertise to my clients. So this is it, or a short overview of property agency. That is what is called. You're an agent, you're a realtor. And that's just an intro. As I said, there's so much about this that cannot be said during this Facebook Live. The next one I want to talk about is real estate investment trust. Real estate investment trust, also called REIT. Now, a real estate investment trust is a company, it's a public company, you need to know, that pulls funds from the general public and invests it into real estate, whether it is residential real estate or commercial real estate, right? So real estate investment trust is just like investing in the stock market, the Nigerian stock market or any other stock market, but specifically the funds gotten from the investors is put into different kinds of real estate, right? And the money is put into residential, commercial, or industrial, and it's a very good form of investment. Under the law, for instance, the Security and Exchange Commission, which regulates it in Nigeria, it mandates this real estate investment trust to pay their investors every quarter. So it's one good way to earn money on a regular basis. Now, you still need to do your own research on the company you think is best for you because we have a number of them. So you need to know the one that is best for you. And there are different kinds of real estate investment trusts. There are different kinds of them. One is what we call the hybrid. Yes, we have a number of them. We have the hybrid. We have the equity REIT and the like. So equity REIT is just putting the money in different areas, right? Equity REIT, we have the hybrid REIT. So equity REIT is one, you put your money in different residential property. I remember in 2022, I did an investment with an equity REIT. It's a Nigerian company that buys properties in the US. You put a fixed amount and they pay you a fixed return on a quarterly basis. I got about 15%, and for me, it was a good one. It was a good one. So they used the money to buy houses there. And you know, in the US, tenants pay on a monthly basis. So as they get this this monthly rent at the end of the quarter, they give to us. So this is equity REIT. For mortgage REITs, these are real estate investment trust companies who do not acquire buildings or properties per se. They lend it out to estate operators through loans and mortgages. And the third one is hybrid REIT. Hybrid REIT is a mixture of mortgage REIT and equity REIT. Equity REIT are the ones that purchase the buildings and the apartments and the residential property or commercial property and give out, put in the market, use funds gotten from investors, put to the market to tenants who pay. It's a very good way for you to invest. It's a very good way for you to invest, but you now have to go and do your own research. We have a number of equity REITs in Nigeria. I can count about 4, 5 or more I know. So you need to know, you need to do your own study and market analysis of each of them to know which is good for you. So I've talked about property agency, and number 2, REITs, real estate investment trust. And real estate investment trust, it has some advantages over conventional estates or over conventional real estate investments like we know, buying house and renting. This one, you need little money to start. So with 5,000, 10,000, you can buy stocks in a real estate investment trust. It also gives you the ability to diversify your investments still within the real estate sector. So that is it. They spread it over different residential apartments. So this is another advantage over regular property. In addition to it being cheap. So if you want to buy a house normally to do rental, you have to buy it in millions. But in real estate investment trust, with 10,000, 20,000, you've gotten an investment there and you can make your money. So that is one benefit of real estate investment trust over conventional property. The third advantage of real estate investment trust over conventional property is liquidity. The average property, when you want to sell it, it takes time. It could take time. But real estate investment trust, you just being on the stock market, you just put it out there, and once you have a ready buyer, it can be the same day, it can be the next day. At the prevailing market price, they buy it. So that is another advantage of real estate investment trust over conventional property. However, it has its own downsides to which you should be aware of. And with real estate investment trust, you lack the ability to totally control the affairs of your investment. Because when you give your money to the investment company, to the real estate investment trust, it's a company who has its directors and other workers who run the investment for you. So to an extent, you lose total control over your investment. You have some control, right? But it is being run by others, as against where you have your own property that you manage on your own. So that is one of the downsides to real estate investment trust. And the last but not the least is that there could be some high management fees that will be charged for every time you buy into it or where you want to sell. So you might want to take those things into consideration before you invest in real estate investment trust. The third one I want to talk about is short let. And this is one area I am really passionate about. Now, short let has been around for some time in recent times, yes, but the short let market took a boom after the COVID-19 era or during the COVID-19 era. Now, if you recall, there was a worldwide lockdown to a very great extent. Some people were shut down in countries not of their origin, right? They were shut down and they needed places to stay, and short let just came through. So short let is just like the normal property rental, like you stay in the house for 1 year, you pay your rent, but this one short let you pay on a daily basis. So it's like a hybrid of normal yearly property rental and sort of a hotel. So you know how a hotel is, you go there, you pay per night. But this one, short let is not an hotel, it's in a residence. So like a normal 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and the like. So short let just has to do with leasing or renting your property for a short period of time from 1 day to 3 months in exchange for a fee, right? And what are some of the advantages of the short let business? Number one, short let business requires little money to start up, depending on the fact or if you have a property. So it requires little money if you have a property. So let's say you're living in a 4 bedroom duplex, right? And you have a boys quarters, good 2 bedroom boys quarters that is not rented. You can use it for a short let. So you don't need to go and buy a new property or rent another property to use. So it does not always entail so much capital. I recall back in 2020, before the COVID lockdown in February, I traveled to Rwanda for a tech conference there, and I stayed in a short let apartment. My host used a part of our property, which was within the same compound but excluded or demarcated from a major house. She did for short let. It was a 2 bedroom and suite apartment with a parlor, and she had good ratings, and I took the place. She had a 4.9/5 rating. So short let, people call it Airbnb. Yes, but Airbnb is just one of the companies that gives a platform for people to list their short let apartments. We have other platforms like VRBO, like bookings.com, and the likes. So short let sometimes, depending on if you have a property, it takes not so much money. In the alternative, if you don't have a property, you can either buy a property and use for that purpose, or you rent a 1 bedroom to 2 bedroom and use for that purpose. 1 and 2 bedrooms are the ones that really move fast in the market, right? It's one that you're sure to get if you run it well, maybe up to 15 to 20 days occupancy in a month. Another benefit of short let, one thing that makes people like short let is that they are more attractive to customers than hotels. And why is this? They have lesser restrictions imposed as compared to hotels. Sometimes hotels may say you can have only 2 or 3 maximum guests in an apartment, but this doesn't always apply to short let, right? And shortlet also gives you that privacy. Sometimes people do not want people to know where they are. They just need that privacy. Many shortlets, they do not have a signpost stating that this is a shortlet. It's just a private place for people to stay. So it gives that privacy. The third thing you need to know about shortlet is that it's also much more profitable than others. So a friend of mine who runs a top-notch hospitality business in Abuja, he does so much of short leg. And an apartment he uses is worth about 25 million. Now, in my calculation, it's a 2 bedroom apartment. If you put it in the market for renting, based on the location, he can get maybe 1.5 million naira per year as rent, right? But it is put in short let at about 35,000 naira per night. If we have 20 days of occupancy in a month, that is 700,000. Let us remove expenses and other things. Let's say 350,000. Now 350,000 times 12 months, that is 350,000 times 12 months, that's 700,000 times 6 months. That's about 4.6 million. So you can see shortlet is generally more profitable than one hotel and also the conventional real estate or the normal rentals that we know people just staying in apartment. And another thing that makes it more profitable is that it has less overhead costs when you compare to the hotel. So in a shortlet, you may just have somebody serving as cleaner and security guard, right? Unlike a hotel that will have so many staff that are on a payroll and you must pay them irrespective of the rate of occupancy in the area, right? So shortlets is generally more profitable and they have more occupancy, right? Dependent on how well you run it. Another thing that makes them more profitable is that shortlets give you the ability to vary your prices. So sometimes we have peak periods of the year when we have travels and when we have more influx of customers. So more influx of customers is regulated by things like travels, maybe Yuletide periods, Christmas, Easter, Salah, or whatever period it is, Yuletide period, or where there are conferences. These are things that influence the use of shortlet, right? To start up a shortlet business, there's so many things you need to do. I'll just take few of them. Number one thing you need to do is to take into consideration location. So if short break, you need to take into consideration location because not every area is suitable for shortlet. The fact that you can live in a place as your own apartment does not mean people can live in it on a shortlet basis. So many times people want to start shortlet in Nigeria, I will suggest 3 locations: Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. For me, I am based in Abuja, and I say not even every location in Abuja is suitable for shortlet. Some areas are more suitable than others because of one, they are prime areas. We're talking of areas like Guzape, Asokoro, Meitama, Katampe, Uye. These are areas that are serene to a very great extent and people will want to stay. So you need to know the location. That's why you need a real estate consultant who can advise you on the best location, because some people, they just buy property anyway and they are surprised when they are not getting bookings and they're like, oh, what is the issue? They are having low visitors. So the location is very important. You need to get a good location. And the second thing is get an apartment and tastefully furnish it. Furnish it well. And it need not be extravagant. You just need ideas on how to make it look so beautiful. An American real estate investor in Shortlet who I follow, Michael Elephant. He tells the story about how a Shortlet apartment of his, he drew a beautiful butterfly in the background, and because of that, he just realized that that property had a high influx of customers who wanted to use that background butterfly as a picture background, right? So your ability to have a top-notch interior decor is one thing that will make your apartment to stand out. The next thing you want to do when setting up your shortlet is to aggressively market it. As you know, good products don't sell themselves. You have to sell them. You have to list them on property sites like Airbnb, like VRBO, like bookings.com and the likes. But if you think all this stress is too much for you, you need to get a property manager. A property manager is somebody who will help you manage it. Such property manager has an understanding of the market. Such property manager knows people within the market, knows how to get the customers, and will get everything you need done in exchange for a fee. And that is one thing I do. So for a 30% fee, in addition to some other incidental costs, I can help you manage your shortlet apartment here in Abuja. And last but not the least, give your clients an unforgettable experience so that they can give you positive reviews, because that is one thing that sets people apart from the other. So give your clients an unforgettable experience. Now, there's still so much for me to talk about. We have property rental, we have property management, we have property development, and the like. But I just want to stop here for now. I believe that these are things that if you take action in, you can start earning. And they do not need so much expertise. Property agency, just get properties, and it is ideal if you get it from the direct owners so that you get your full commission and start advertising it. You need to have knowledge of how to run ads, on effective ways to run ads, whether through Facebook, Instagram, and the likes. You need to know that it demands work, but when you get the money, you have it. One of the stories that motivates me the most in this sector is the story of my friend who made a sale of $17 million some 2 years ago. She's a colleague in a real estate company. I worked at a commission of about $850,000. That was so interesting. So you can make money through property brokerage. And the next one is real estate investors, buying like stocks or shares in companies that invest solely in real estate and earning returns on a quarterly basis or yearly basis. And last but not the least, shortlet. So there's so much to do in real estate. There are over 10 ways to make money in real estate in Nigeria. I'm currently writing a book on how to make money. You need to get a book, How to Make Money in Real Estate in Nigeria. You can contact me any day, anytime on phone or WhatsApp. My number is 234-813-799-0792. And my name is John Olesa, and I'm a realtor. I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited. This is John telling you, have a wonderful day. Bye.